just slam down the Misfortune because it's very risky. And the Leona is open as well, man. This is such a great lock-in.
Oh, never mind.
Blitz is great as well into this Misfortune. I mean, anything that's going to be able to, at range, grab a stationary target is going to feel really good about this.
Competitive one here in game number 1. That would be extremely exciting. Let's dive into it. With a Poppy there and not something like a Lux, you obviously don't need to worry too much about just getting poked into oblivion. As level 2 has been found. Heroic Charge, no stun here from Keria, as now Lehans finds the hook. Onto Keria, gets the knock-up, but now he's taken so much damage. Smash, one more auto will do it, and he flashes forward to pick it up. That's first blood in this bottom lane, as the flash from Jiu is so weird alongside that Heroic Charge. One more auto would do it, but it's not gonna be there, and it's a double in the bottom lane for T1. Okay,
oh,
so
man.
This is how it's gonna go. That's it.
잡았다.
It was nicely done. That was a weird interaction with the flash Heroic Charge from Keria. Absolutely fine moving later into the game. Azir needs no introduction whatsoever. As, oh wow, nerves of steel there from Fisher. As he teleports on top of Faker as well. Of course, this is Turtle Port, so Faker has got plenty of time to clear out the wave.
Yeah, I think if it was old teleport, maybe you try to get a double Q on him there. Weird bottom side fight. Let's see if they can quickly try to use this prio to grab Dragon and then turn to the Grubs, because if you end up losing a lot of control early, it's going to be a disaster. And Gideon's in trouble.
Ona's going in, but Keria taking a fair bit of damage as well. Steadfast Presence as he misses the Mystic Shot there. Does Jiwoo, and Lehen's going to pay the price for it. Smash grabs yet another kill as Arcane Shift gets Jiwoo out of there, but Tri-Barrage not going to be warded, and therefore no more shots going to land. Nongshim not finding wins really anywhere. This bottom lane is not somewhere that he wants to exist, and I believe he agrees. King now looking for a bit of an angle as Keria moving on up. Doran moving in as well as another Heroic Charge. Kingen trying to get himself out of there as the Crescent Guard is now on cooldown. Faker very low though, cannot join this fight as the hook is going to connect. Can they actually CC this Xin Zhao enough? That's the question. Gideon diving on top of him, flashes forward. Owner is healing though, and is going to survive. Good shield there as Kingen comes in to protect his jungler. And now Doran should be able to just finish off Fisher. If that hook had landed, Fisher able to flash his way out, but now Kingen's the one that eventually will pay the price.
Oh man, Nongshim committing so heavily to this one. Lens should be able to get the execute here at the end of the day, but ultimately still another kill over to T1. They will be able to secure 2 out of 3 grubs at the end of the day. Fisher also losing his flash. Only Jiu with his flash left remaining here across the side of Nongshim. As Keria looking for a buckler and won't find it, but oof, that was a bit of a messy one.
I would say so too. Keria going to take the quick way out.
Situation for Nongshim now, just no real control. Kingen is just like, let's see how good Cassante is. I have no flash.
Yeah. Does have his ultimate back off cooldown, but let's see what he can actually get done here as the Steadfast Presence gets him into the wall. There's the bullet time, and he's dead.
It's just systematic here by T1, and the cross-map Doran is like, well, I'm just not going to take a chance. I'm just going to walk away.
This is almost a go next type situation here as far as Nongshim are concerned. Doran just looking to hold onto the wave, and Lehens can't really seem to hit a hook on his former top laner. And looks like Doran, he can land a few shock blasts. Lehen's going to have to back himself out of the way. So Feats of Strength now going over to T1 with that first brick falling down on the bottom side. And
like
maybe
in the bottom 2v2, her damage was big as Doran.
All right, there's cease and desist. Let's see whether they can actually get the kill. They pull him back, but now it's Keria to remove Gideon from the equation. Still, Doran does go down. Faker teleporting in. I don't know about that one because he's trying to get himself out. A little bit weird as far as how the Observer PC managed to figure that one out, but Faker not able to get him far enough with the shifting sands.
Here, when you're just locking somebody down and you just press R, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have a look at it happening one more time. Let's see whether the Cassante shenanigans can actually bring Kingen out of this one. The all-out just not going to be invested, so he's just going to die.
And even if he's there, they still have damage. Fisher's in trouble.
Yep, he's going to get thrown away from his turret. Does manage to bounce towards the other side of his wall after getting bounced off Faker's wall.
Now, he probably wishes he did it the other way.
Yeah. Well, there's a Heroic Charge onto Jude. If it doesn't get the stun, then the bullet time doesn't get a whole lot of value. As we get a bit of a zoom in, Jonas Strong also thought Lehens might go for something, but as it turns out, he did not. And because Keria can channel the ultimate, that's all you really need to worry about. That can protect their escape very comfortably. And in the meantime, Faker also taking another inner turret. There's only one inner turret left And that's a Rift Herald as well.
Yeah, I mean, T1 are just farming Nongshim right now. Like,
yeah.
Everything that's red belongs to me. Everything the light touches is T1's kingdom, and with all the wards they have all over the map, the light touches everything, as it turns out. And Jiu has his second item, but he
oh no,
Gideon
just completely isolated now. And yeah, Smash able to hit him mid-Vault Breaker with a bullet. That's kind of my theory.
Oh,
all right. There's a pick onto Carrier.
Isn't going to work out, but they are at least able to get this kill back with a lone ward here. The one place the light didn't touch.
Yeah. Lahen's also playing that quite nicely as well, as far as this Blitzcrank is concerned. Quite a few of those hooks have gone a little bit wide.
And Faker is 2 item Azir. He kind of likes to just hit objectives and do a lot of damage to them. And it's a little bit later than on 20, but about 2015.
Yep, and we're also standing on some vision here on Nongshim's side. Let's see whether they can get some sort of steal happening, as there is the flash forward. Gideon steals it, and now they get a free ticket home. Can they grab themselves some kills as well? That's the question. As 200 gold going over to Owner, as they are just kind of farming these Otacon buffs. Still, it's not as bad as dying, but it could have been better. Still, that is a whole bunch of shutdown money going over to Jiu, so that is great for Nongshim. Yeah, and this is a lot of what I would assume many people thought about when they were considering this, because Nongshim have had some really creative draft ideas. As I'm going to have to hold that thought, because we might have a fight breaking out. Nongshim all grouped as 5. Carrier with that Keeper's Verdict can really make things tough, as Doran on a flank angle. Fisher over the wall there as well. Decent assist to get on top of him. And Doran's just being thrown around this fight like a ragdoll. Fisher is now found by Carrier, who does just evict Jiu. Emperor's Divide goes wide, though, is now Kingen trying to stay alive, but he's still at Otacon buff for another 20 seconds, so that's kind of cute. That's going to be Owner taking away the Dragon. Flash out from Faker avoids the hook as Jiu makes his way back into the fight. Coming. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but like you say, Kingen making his way back into the battle might mean that T1 aren't exactly getting out scot-free. True Shot Barrage does sail by and does nothing at all. And it looks like T1 will be safe for now with the Drake in hand. And Owner and Faker getting to work on this Dragon. Cease and Desist is going to connect onto Smash. Keeper's Verdict just to get rid of the damage. And down goes the jungler. And that will mean Baron is available if T1 would like to take it, as now Kingen being discovered by Owner is exactly what Nongshim do not want. Just pick after pick here for T1, and 1 versus 5, I don't think he's going to be able to get that one. Lahen's going to get picked up by that Emperor's Divide and will be cut down where he stands as well by the onslaught of Sand Soldiers. And T1, I don't know whether they even necessarily need to take the Baron. They might just do it because they feel like it, but I think also pushing into the enemy base might be a way to win.
Yeah, well, it looks like Fisher's flash isn't going to be enough to get him out of here. And
To the Skies was both a request and the name of the ability.
Yes, we'll just end the game here for T1. Faker does have teleport as well, so he can just TP to mid, and that's exactly what he's going to do. He's looking for the second inhibitor here. They can start to collapse in with these Baron buffed cannon minions to say goodnight.
Well, there's finally a hook connecting onto Doran. Nice work, Lahens. We got there, even though it is
T1 decide not to opt for the end. Interestingly, now they're in an awkward spot here.
Well, Lahens is also in an awkward spot. Wind becomes lightning, doesn't actually amount to too much. As Kingen, stopped by the Steadfast Presence, Jiu needs to offer some damage back to at least deter them. The flash forward to miss the Q is not exactly what you want. Is now Owner possibly out of position as well. Crescent Guard does absolutely nothing, is now Kingen. Gets an all-out onto Doran. Nongshim actually finding some angles here as Faker is now on the floor. Carrier and Smash, the only ones left alive.
Means the Baron buff minions to then kind of siege the Nexus and stay together, but they kind of fragmented themselves off.
Taking them down. But now that the siege is on, this is where things get dangerous. Out goes Kingen, in goes Carrier. Owner looking for an advantage onto Jiu, who's trying to stay alive, but the bullet time says absolutely not. Lahens down to 50%, make that 30 and make that dead. Emperor's Divide doesn't do a whole lot because the all-out gets Kingen through it, but he also heads straight to the death chamber. It's a triple kill for Smash. Fisher the last man standing, and there was a blip. There was a bit of a hiccup, but ultimately the outcome was still the same as it's been dictated throughout the entirety of the game. T1 just too good in this game number 1.
Very dominant game from T1. Well, you look at the damage share, how even it is. T1, minus that one small error there with the Baron buff, just so well coordinated. It's insane to see.
And the value of both this Jace and the Xin Zhao really represented as far as these damage numbers are concerned. Doran and Ona doing just a whole lot of work throughout this game.
To great success, and we're just going all in.
Yeah, okay, so that's Carrier's Pike. We know just how good he is on this champion, but that is definitely the opposite of a tank. That is as far the opposite of a tank that you can possibly get. This guy cannot even get health. See how it goes. We jump into the rift for game number 2.
It's like the most strategy that's ever been shown in a single LCK game in LCK history.
The wall tech. This is what you get from playing 19 games of Anivia top in a week. Anivia is certainly one of these champions with her stun being pretty high value, but hitting it is a little bit harder because it moves very slowly. Oh dear, Fisher, this is not where he wants to be. As Ona misses the Q, Fisher is going to survive for now. As now Lehens looking for an opportunity on to smash. He has to flash, get out of the way. Gideon looking for an opportunity. Lehens makes his way out. Still relatively healthy.
You already said tanks are not allowed in this game, so...
And the build that he's been going has been a lot more like Rod of Ages, Seraph's style of builds, as the flash from Fisher is odd, misses the Q, now unbinds, gets the flash out of Faker, because Faker is respecting Lehens. But that was some events, as once again, Kingen is going to tell the melees that they will walk through that brush. Anivia so much that he'd like have different games, or he'd like max wall first, as there's a hook connecting, sorry, a cocoon connecting as Faker just Valkyrie's away. Ona makes his way in, makes his way out. Lehen's very, very close to dead. And T1 just kind of chilling right now. Bone Skewer going to be attempted to be blocked, but instead, Gideon's the one that's going to be the target.
That was
to get out, and that equalizer was nutty.
Everything about that was just so off the wall.
Yeah.
Gold advantage here for Nongshim, sitting on about 200 or so at the moment.
Well, Kingen continuing to just try and hit smash with things. Doesn't, I believe, manage to tag him with the frost there. Oh dear, Lehens is just dead.
2 misses today in this game. So we'll go back to this play here. Kingen deep for this one.
Yep,
they were just coordinating it to make sure that there's no way to react. Beautiful. It's a little bit more understandable, but that one in the top lane was certainly not one you want. This could be another opportunity for that, as now Lehens wants to be able to find it. Cocoon now going to connect as he flashes on over. Fisher's in so much trouble, still going to survive. They take down the Lee Sin first, the repel to get Lehens out of dodge. And now Jiu's on the board, picks up the kill onto Carrier. Faker now in trouble, and it's a double for the Ash Nongshim. Yeah, I think I'll write my thesis on it. I'll try and get a PhD in
I think if you had a
Diego interactions.
If you had a group of 20...
Oh, okay. There is the Safeguard kick flash onto Jiu, who is very dead.
All right, well... There you go.
But yeah, that is one grub going on down, as Wojciech is going to give away the position here of Smash. Carrier comes in though, lands the Bone Skewer as Kingen's in a bit of trouble as well. Lehens is just dead. Explosions there as the ulti's looking really cool. A double in theory, but it is just egg form. And still, that's a 4-man ult from Fisher. Smash gonna get ripped to shreds. And they take down Faker as well. Back immediately channeled here as Carrier is trying to go home. And now flashing over the wall is Gideon, safeguarding out his owner, and I think he will survive for the moment. But man, I thought that was just think about that with Kingen layered over the top, right? He can slow everyone so much, it can make some of these Yone plays work out. As Kingen also may just be dead, which would also be bad, but Ona's going to dive in. There's the safeguard kick as Lehens comes through. Ona is going to die, so it's a 1-for-1. But Lehens is now finding himself a little bit trapped underneath this turret. That turret is very angry. And Smash taking a lot of damage here. Lehens, I don't know about this one, buddy. Still, can he get in range of the Q? As there's the repel, and he gets the execute. Not enough that Carrier can do about it, as now Faker will turn up. But Fisher is now landed. Carrier looks for the ultimate, doesn't quite find it, but still, the stun is going to connect. Carrier going to be falling, as we've also got Gideon getting eaten by a very angry robot Yordle. And Jiu, can he actually avenge him? The answer is perhaps, because we just continue to fight here in this game. Doran now running for the hills. Faker looking for Fisher. He flashes, he picks it up. And it's 8-8 as far as the kill score. And if we don't get a Ruinous Otacon in this game,
is that you also give a ton of gold when you die. So if you don't find those all-in wins, you just end up feeding over so much money to the enemy team. This is just what happened to Gideon here. No explanation needed. Tries to use the cloak to get away.
However, I will eat nothing. Just for you guys, just so that I can remain true. Okay, Lehens going to find the cocoon onto Ona here, who puts him up into the sky. Kingen just continuing to try and push them away. Gets stunned and now has no real way out. and will be taken out of there.
Oh man, my man Lehen's trying to make some big heroic plays in this mid.
Yeah, Nongshim, I think if they can convince T1 to walk into them and that first pick does actually come through, the amount of, snowball potential within a fight is extraordinarily high with things like the Viego. And let's see whether Jiu knows it, and he does. As Bone Skewer still going to connect, and Jiu just going to be able to find the hook, so it's a 1-for-1 in the end. Let's see whether Gideon can make it a 2-for-1, but the Bone Skewer not quite as good coming from the Viego, and he gets himself out.
You have an alive one farming. Faker grabs the second item, is about to transform, as we do have a TP.
Yeah, Fisher a little bit mistimed as far as that knock-up was concerned. As the ulti out will mean that Lehens is not going to be able to find the angle as, oh dear, speaking of not finding the angle, I don't know whether he's going to be able to find his way out either, as the Spiderlings blocking the rockets. A while back, so that is at least a little bit of extra value as Cocoon is going to land this time, but the Q is going to land as well onto Ona Repel. Gets Lehens out of there as now Faker is going to chase them down. The rocket's hurting, and now this outer turret is under fire. This is a good macro position for Nongshim to be in. Can T1 actually fight their way back into some control around this river as Gideon pushing forward? Arrow going to connect there onto Ona. The double stun, the layering CC, but he gets himself out with the safeguard, and now Gideon is burning down. Faker, Valkyries to reposition, and now it smashes Killer Instinct. He didn't even need a button with that name on it. He already just had that, but it is working out for them. Carrier looking for another Bone Skewer, but honestly, the damage has been done. 3 on the floor for Nongshim, and maybe even more as the ulti gets Fisher out, but Kingen, he doesn't have one of those. Burning, but now he's just going to have to flap his way out. And this outer turret, not long for the world as T1 just look to take down the stragglers. Oh dear, yeah, that is a Void Seeker that's going to put him down towards the egg. And down goes Yone as well. Faker's health bar suffered a little bit, but nothing to worry about.
Like you said, T1 are just better today. And I mean, this is a AP Anivia, not very tanky. Is about to hit Rod of Ages and the Seraph's transform, but it's just too little too late. The scaling is definitely high in terms of what she can do damage-wise later, but I don't know if it's going to matter.
Well, Kingen is going to do his best to try and find an angle, and Faker is going to make it impossible for any value to be collected. Gives him the good old thumbs up as Void Seeker is going to find him doing something. It's pretty cool.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear. Bone Skewer going to connect. Now Faker is going to turn up. Arrow will connect as the Repel gets Lehens out of there. But T1, a few too many bodies here for Nongshim to really fight back. They have 4. But is it actually going to be enough? Another Bone Skewer. Carrier cannot miss today.
Yeah, he's just on fire. And Smash is going to sit here in mid. This 4-1 Otacon play is so oppressive. A lot of teams would just look for a dive here, but T1 don't need to. They know that Nongshim can't punish. They can't look for the picks like their comp wants to while they're sieged up like this.
Oh dear, Doran possibly in trouble. The wall goes down, Repel goes up. And remember they have Otacon, but this is still a bunch of money going over to Nongshim. They just need to make sure that they do not die. Killer Instinct gets Smash in there as they take down Jiu. 1 for 2 sent back home. Yep. Counter Siege for Anivia is no joke, as now Fisher is going to take an Equalizer ride. He did not want that. Another Equalizer is there now in the form of a Valkyrie, and Faker didn't even really need it as far as the damage.
This was not the play.
Yes. Not the droids you were looking for. Okay, Lehens is just thrown into a Bone Skewer. That was sexy. That was a sexy play. Stages to really assert their lead. Now that they have it, things are looking real dire, and Carrier doesn't miss those. Once again, that is a dead Ashe.
In deep trouble there. T1 gonna grab this Baron on spawn again. And this game is just, unfortunately, very quickly, and we're able to suss out some of their traps. Speaking of,
oh, Lehens, unfortunately not allowed to go home. The Equalizer going to stop that. Now Carrier looking for an opportunity to take him down. He's going to slink through, does get tagged as, oh god, just like 3 buttons and he's dead. Fisher not going to be allowed to escape here. Does get a big old shield as he flashes on top of Faker. He almost goes down. Eventually Gideon does secure that kill as the Bone Skewer this time just barely going to go wide. And Doran going to get taken down. Gideon now finding some of these angles, some of these opportunities as he gets on top of Smash with a Heartbreaker. Now Jiu with these auto attacks as Carrier, it's just going to get autoed down. And Ona possibly out of position. There's the kick, follows in order to take down Gideon, but the stun is going to be there, and there's the Ashe damage we've been waiting for. Nongshim able to fight back. This was with Baron.
yeah, this is one of those old school Nongshim types of team fights where you're like, oh, if you want to tussle with us, you better be ready to get into the chaos, as Gideon absolutely pops off in that fight. And Gideon has been known to be a crazy Viego player. You give him that opportunity, you don't respect him. He has a ton of really crazy snowballing champions on T1's side to utilize there as well. The damage coming out of the stolen Corki was unreal. That's going to be a lot of gold over to Nongshim here.
And then they did. This does have an Anivia in it, so maybe that just win is going to take a little while longer. But Ona says he's going to split push, take down a mid lane inhibitor turret, and T1 to continue to push forward. King in. Gonna get just engaged on here by Carrier. King goes golden. Carrier likely to die as Gideon is just burning. That is going to be the rocket to take him down. Actually, the last tick of Ignite, I believe, was what removed him there. And Nongshim continuing to play defense. Arrow going to connect onto this Rumble as the ulti from Fisher. It might be enough there to be able to take him down, but instead he goes golden. Ona now taken down to his GA. Smash just getting autoed down by Jiu, who's standing and delivering as far as this damage is concerned. If he's not instantly killed, things can be better unless Ona does that. And now the entire bottom lane is being wiped out. He does have to sacrifice himself for it. Speaking of sacrifices, Doran will be taking down Fisher, the hero, as Kingen versus Faker, a tale as old as time, or at least one that's at least 3 years old based on the 2022 World Finals.
Locks Doran down, and then Gio positions really well. Yeah, can we stop doing the thing where we say nice things about Nongshim, then we come back and they're dead?
Yeah, this has happened, some would say, too much. I think Lehens, if he respawns, he may just die by existing on Summoner's Rift. This could be another one, though, as Carrier going to look for a Bone Skewer, connects it after the Heartbreaker. This guy is sick. Ona now looking to try and connect that Q, but the arrow is going to be what lands. Nice little stun there as in goes Ona looking for another opportunity. King just trying to play defense. This picks him out of the air again! How does Carrier keep doing this? Now looks for the engagement in the backline, sacrifices himself at Smash to find an avenue in. He's gonna take down Jiu, and Fisher somehow misses everyone with that ultimate. That actually, I don't think that's on Fisher. That should have hit something, I think. As now Faker is gonna say enough with the shenanigans, and he's looking to end this game right here. The most kills in a game here for the LCK Cup ever. And Fisher is still going to try and get more, at least give more, as 2 go down before Smash is given some time with this Nexus. Doran also going to be able to clear out the kill onto King and gets the ace. And this is going to be the 2-0 for T1. Welcome to the playoffs of the LCK Cup. You'll be up against either DRX or Humble Life Esports, depending on who wins the next best of 3. But T1 right now looking like the team to beat
this time around. But Faker doing a ton of damage, had a pretty great performance on the Corki himself. Another win for the Corki. Maybe the Corki loss streak was overrated. As we move into more important matches here in the LCK, it's doing better and better.
They can take down their opposition before the playoffs. Is this the most no-brainer POM vote of all time? Carrier having an absolute day out today.
I voted for Owner. I thought Owner was more consistent across 2 games, but
thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POM interview translation, joined by Carrier on the side of T1. Congratulations! Thank you. Congratulations on advancing to the playoffs. This is your first POM. How do you feel? First of all, I'm happy that I'm able to win and get POM. And it's great to be able to finish the match with a quick 2-0. Yeah, in game 1, your Poppy skill shots were on point. So how are you so good at hitting these skill shots? I think Poppy, as a champion, doesn't really have that too much detail into hitting skill shots. So as long as you use her skill shots in the right moment, I think that's really all that matters when playing her. And yeah, you have a fellow Otani in your team, Owner. So how did he react? You know, when Poppy was really hot, I was actually not playing her very well, so I think Owner used to blame me on me playing Poppy, so I really tried hard and I grinded and really tried to prove myself this time. And your Pyke made an appearance today in game 2, and he's a champion that can fall off in the late game, so what was your game plan? So I've only imagined playing Pyke against Elise, and Elise actually in the early game doesn't really have good movement against Pyke and at least can actually fall off easily in the early game. So I think that's what I tried to capitalize off of. And so we got a chaotic game too, and it was a record-breaking 54 kill game.
저희 팀이 보이스에서 텐션이 올라오는 것 같으면 승기를 좀 잡았다고
So
느끼는
whenever
것 같은데.
I feel like, when I notice that we're going to actually win the game is when our team spirit is up in the voice comm. So I think that's when I can tell. And congratulations on your 5th debut anniversary. Thank you for the yummy snacks. And you've been a pro for 5 years now. So how has that treated you?
일도 많고 힘든 일도
You know, throughout
많은데
5 years, there were many ups and downs, but in any given moment, given that I had the support of my fans and my teammates, I was able to enjoy my time as a pro.
제가 세웠던 목표보다는 한참 남았다 생각해서
And you know, I think I still have a long way to go in regards to achieving my goals, so
보여드릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
I think I have a lot more left to show. So would you like to send any message to your fans then?
항상 응원해 주셔서 감사하고
First of all, thank you so much for always cheering for me.
항상 최선을 다해서 열심히 하겠습니다. 근데 이게
You know, I always want to try my best and show you my best. Thank you so much.
POM도 진심으로 축하드립니다. 인터뷰 고맙습니다.
감사합니다.
That's the end of the interview with Carrie. I'm back to the stage. Thank you.